ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
The man accused of going on a deadly shooting spree in southern Maine made his first court appearance Thursday. We'll have the details. Good afternoon. I'm Susan Farley. A jury has sided with developers of a $1 billion utility transmission project known as the CMP Corridor, and the universal masking policy is no longer required at Northern Maine White Health facilities. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories in just a moment. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Friday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Lou Jean Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. All right, here we go. So we've had a few returns on the radar, showing again a few rain and snow showers in the western parts of the state. This is starting to back off now. So we're going to have a very nice day out there for us today with a partly cloudy sky. So get outside and enjoy it. Temperatures today making it into the upper 50s. A few of you could do the lower 60s with a warm front right nearby as well. That's why we've been seeing a little bit of development there this morning, but for us, we're looking pretty good. Otherwise, off toward the west, a thinning line of showers there and some storms to the south. We might see some redevelopment there as the day progresses on, but for us, we're looking pretty good, at least until Sunday night. So a lot of sunshine, a few passing clouds for us today, maybe a little bit more cloud cover later on tonight, and also in the parts of the daytime tomorrow. The wind's not too bad either, possibly at around 5 miles per hour or less. Directions kind of switching around from time to time, too. We'll see a little bit more wind, especially as we head towards your Saturday. But otherwise, so your forecast for today, not too bad. Upper 50s with a partly cloudy sky. Few of you could also do the lower 60s with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, mid-30s, partly cloudy with that northwest breeze getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we head towards tomorrow, here we go. Upper 50s with a mostly cloudy sky. Some of you could touch the lower 60s with that east breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. The man accused of going on a deadly shooting spree in southern Maine made his first court appearance Thursday. 34-year-old Joseph Eaton of Bowdoin has been charged with 4 counts of murder for allegedly killing his parents and their longtime friends in Bowdoin. Police say a sister of one of the victims found the body of her brother-in-law, 72-year-old Robert Eager, inside their home Tuesday morning. When police arrived, they found the bodies of Patricia Eager and 62-year-old Cynthia Eaton inside the home. The body of 66-year-old David Eaton was found outside in a barn. Police also found a note at the scene stating that someone was molested, but nothing was done about it. The note mentioned someone being free from pain, and the author talked about wanting a new life. It was not addressed to anyone or signed. Later Tuesday morning, police received calls about drivers being shot at on I-295 in Yarmouth. Police say 51-year-old Sean Halsley and his 2 children, 29-year-old Justin Halsley and 25-year-old Paige Halsley of Bowdenham, were hit and taken to the hospital. Paige Halsley is still in critical condition. Joseph Eaton was found near exit 15 southbound and taken into custody.
Joseph Eaton has been charged with 4 counts of murder. He was transported to Two Bridges Jail in Wiscasset, and that's where he remains. A few days ago, he was released from Windham Correctional Center, where he was serving about 2 years for aggravated assault. He was picked up, I believe, on April 14th at the Windham Correctional Center by his mother, Cynthia, and they drove to the residence in Bowdoin where the murders occurred.
Officers say Joseph Eaton confessed to the 4 murders and to shooting at a vehicle on I-295. The attorney representing Eaton in court won't be with him moving forward, but says the legal team that will be defending him is still gathering all the facts. As the state grapples with the horrific events in Bowdoin, several bills that could change Maine gun laws are moving through the legislature. But lawmakers are not talking about those bills. Our Devin Dagnold has more.
Thursday, I went to Augusta to have a conversation with lawmakers about the shootings that happened earlier this week and what they plan to do moving forward. However, neither Democrats nor Republicans were willing to speak with me. Some said it was too soon to talk. Others said they were too busy to discuss anything.
Despite all that, there are currently 3 bills awaiting committee to change gun laws here in Maine. LD 22 seeks to make state law agree with federal law on the sale and transfer of firearms. LD 60 would implement a 72-hour waiting period before the sale of a firearm. LD 168 would require criminal background checks for most private sales and exchanges of guns. There are those who believe gun laws should be stricter in this state and beyond.
Gun laws, I believe everywhere should be changed. Maine is fairly safe from what I know, but it's still way too easy to get high-powered weapons, and people underage are getting weapons way too easily. So I think that they should be changed so it's a bit more difficult, a bit more screening, a bit harder to get the higher-powered weapons.
According to the owner of A&G Shooting, Adam Hensby, the conversation needs to be about enforcing the current laws and addressing underlying mental health issues rather than adding more laws.
You know, the gun issue is not the issue that I see at hand. I see the mental health issue, the criminal issue is something we really strongly need to focus on. And we have a lot of laws on the books, and we don't tend to enforce a lot of these laws.
We made multiple calls, visited the House and Senate offices of both Democrats and Republicans, personally spoke with Senator Trey Stewart, and no one was willing to discuss on camera the bills currently being considered.
A jury has delivered a major victory for developers of a $1 billion utility transmission project known as the CMP Corridor. They concluded the developers have a constitutional right to proceed despite being rebuked by state voters. Jurors were asked to decide a complicated constitutional question, whether enough work was completed in good faith before the referendum vote in order for developers to have a vested right to complete the project. Based on the outcome, a state judge is expected to find that the referendum was unconstitutional. The decision will be appealed to the state Supreme Judicial Court for the final say. The Natural Resources Council of Maine, which opposes the power line, said in a statement that it was disappointed with the outcome and remains, quote, sharply focused on achieving a just and equitable clean energy future that works for all Mainers, end quote. Senators Susan Collins and Angus King announced the Jackson Lab in Bar Harbor will receive $1.2 million from the National Institutes of Health for 2 projects. $700,000 will be allocated for a research project led by Jackson Lab Assistant Professor Eric Bloss. That project will investigate how physical activity affects brain structure and function in older adults. The remaining $500,000 will be allocated to a project led by scientist James Goodwin to determine the role of lymphoid immune cells networks in tissue regeneration. In a joint statement from Senators Collins and King, they said, quote, both these investments represent exciting advances in their respective fields and have the potential to significantly enhance quality of life, end quote. Jackson Lab's scientific director, Nadia Rosenthal, told us she's proud of both the scientists for receiving the awards, which will help them continue their cutting-edge research here in Maine.
When you get this kind of validation with highly competitive awards coming in to our young researchers, it's particularly satisfying. Yes, we've been looking at the genetic base of disease for many, many years, but both of these young scientists are using really cutting-edge technologies that they've developed themselves here at the Jackson Laboratory.
To learn more about the research taking place at the Jackson Lab, visit jax.org. The American Red Cross is urging people to make a donation that could make a life-saving impact this month. April is National Minority Health Month, a time that raises awareness about health conditions that disproportionately affect racial minorities. Red Cross representatives say that it's vital for donors to make appointments soon in order to help those that rely on blood donations for survival.
One of the conditions that overwhelmingly impacts communities of color, especially the African American population, is sickle cell disease. One of the most successful treatments for the pain that sickle cell disease can bring is blood transfusion.
To encourage donations, the Red Cross has partnered with Peanuts, the brand associated with the famous Charles Schulz characters. Thanks to Peanuts, those who donate through April 30th will be entered for a chance to win a 3-night trip to California. To find locations and schedule a donation appointment, visit redcrossblood.org. As a visible indicator of how far we've come in response and management of COVID-19, starting yesterday, universal masking is no longer required at Northern Light Health facilities. Masking will still be required in certain areas such as cancer care and infusion centers, but it will not be required for most people in most areas. Senior Vice President of Clinical Operations, Glenda Dwyer, says they've been working closely with clinical leaders for several months to determine the right time to move away from universal masking. She says the downward trend in community infection and hospitalization rates for respiratory infection, coupled with careful planning to ensure patient safety, means they are ready. Students and faculty at Hudson University showcased their results of their hard work during the university's 13th annual Research and Scholarship Day. The annual event is a tribute to scientific exploration that takes place at Hudson every year. Graduates, undergrads, and faculty members from each of Hudson's colleges and schools presented the results of their capstone research projects and other work. For the first time ever, the event included projects from students from New England School of Communications, such as NESCOM senior Drew Hallett.
So behind me here we have a demonstration of our workshop class, which is a capstone for seniors in the film video production program. We get two different departments. We have either the film or a client-based project. I was a part of the client-based project, and here we got to do a project with Maine Police Association, where this is a client-based video advertising to get recruiting people to come to the state of Maine and be a police officer.
Hallett says everyone in the class was assigned a different role, and the team had to conduct research and work collaboratively to create the final project. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, we'll have the latest on the Supreme Court's pending decision on an abortion pill. We'll be right back.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Jardiance may cause serious side effects, including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyu.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Turning to the Supreme Court's pending decision on an abortion pill, the High Court extended its temporary stay of a lower court ruling, allowing the drug to remain widely available until tonight. As justices consider the case, ABC's Justin Finch has the latest from Washington.
Once again, the Supreme Court facing a critical decision on abortion rights. Almost a year after striking down Roe v. Wade abortion protections, the High Court is now considering access to mifepristone, the FDA-approved medication now used in the majority of U.S. abortions, according to the CDC. Hours before a court-imposed deadline Wednesday, Justice Samuel Alito announced the High Court's second extension of his temporary stay of a Texas lower court ruling. That stay expires at midnight Friday, giving the court more time to study the case and keeping the drug widely available in the meantime. Earlier this month, mifepristone became the subject of conflicting lower court decisions. First, a Texas federal judge's ruling rolling back FDA approval of the drug, contending its health risks weren't properly considered. Then, a Washington state federal judge upheld mifepristone access in 17 states and Washington, D.C. After that, an appeals court ruling preserving portions of the Texas court's restrictions, including banning mail delivery of the drug. The Biden administration and mifepristone manufacturer Denko Laboratories then filing emergency requests for the high court to intervene.
This case also has the potential to have enormous consequences for drugs more broadly, because we've never seen before a federal judge basically invalidate something that an expert agency, the FDA, has done.
Lawyers representing the conservative group that brought the initial mifepristone suit say the lower court's decisions were meticulous and don't second-guess the FDA's scientific determinations, but require the agency to follow the law. And the FDA first approved mifepristone back in 2000, and over the past 7 years expanded its access to include mail delivery. The Justice Department says the pill has been safely used by more than 5 million women. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The Falmouth Police Department is trying to identify a body found last night in the Presumpscot River. The police chief says they got a call around 6:30 p.m. from a person fishing in the river when they spotted the body floating near Gray Road. Falmouth police and fire departments recovered the body, which was decomposed and had no distinctive and identifiable features. The department is now working with the medical examiner's office to establish identification and a cause of death. The U.S. Coast Guard said it has found an overturned vessel in its search for a missing fishing boat and its crew off the New Hampshire coast Thursday. It's not confirmed if the boat is the one the crews were looking for. The Coast Guard said 4 people departed from Hampton Harbor in a white 17-foot center console boat Wednesday morning. At about 1:20 p.m., the Coast Guard said an overturned vessel was located approximately 7 miles northeast of Cape Ann, Massachusetts, but did not observe anyone in the water. Area fishermen stated that the weather the day the vessel went missing was very poor.
The weather was not good. For a big boat like that, we were still getting rocked around. A 17-foot boat it was pretty low to the water too, from what I saw the pictures of.
Anyone with information is asked to contact Coast Guard Sector Northern New England at 207-767-0303. Tomorrow is Earth Day. When we return, we'll tell you about some Mainers that got a jump start on observing it. We'll be right back.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
Oh, that feels so good. What a sweetheart. I'm so lucky.
These socks are so soft. And her feet don't smell? These would be perfect for hunting season.
Moisture wicking, odor resistant, hypoallergenic, softer than cashmere, and warmer than wool. Get your alpaca socks and more at the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
Hey babe, can I borrow these socks?
Living in Maine, many things stick with you throughout your life. If you're far from home or you're missing those things, then Box of Maine is for you. Shipping nationwide for corporate businesses or individuals, Box of Maine gives everyone their own personal taste of our great state. And a portion of every box we sell goes directly to local nonprofits. Have you visited the gift shop yet? Filled to the brim with everything you find in our boxes, you can pick what you need or even create your own box. Stop by for perfect Maine gifts today at Box of Maine.
Bucksport Regional Health Center has cared for the community for almost 50 years. We are trusted and compassionate providers. We have also given thousands of COVID-19 vaccines because the COVID-19 vaccine is very safe, very effective, and your best shot at protecting yourself from COVID. Trust us. Trust the vaccine. Protect yourself. Take your shot against COVID-19.
The Department of Administrative and Financial Services announced this morning that systems on the Maine.gov website were largely restored overnight. It continues to work closely with the website hosting partner to restore the remaining offline services, which include some licensing renewals and various registration portals, as soon as possible. The interruption in service occurred yesterday afternoon. It was the result of a disruption in a fiber optic connection at an out-of-state telecommunications data center that serves as a hub for Maine.gov's hosting partner. The disruption impacted multiple customers around the country. Some Mainers got a head start on Earth Day celebrations by giving back to the community. Our David Ledford has their story.
Spring has finally sprung, and with it, some are excited to dust off their rakes and get outside for a good cause. Down East Horizons, a group that helps to support those with developmental disabilities, has returned to Brewer to pick up sticks, rake leaves, and clean up trash ahead of Earth Day. Around 100 people with developmental disabilities and their caregivers came out to the Woodlawn and Oak Hill cemeteries to participate in the annual cleanup. DJ Hart, superintendent of Brewer Parks and Cemeteries, says that the event is a significant help in removing hard-to-find sticks that would otherwise damage the city's lawnmowers.
It's a huge help for what we have with labor shortages and things like that. When we have opportunities for community involvement, it helps us out immensely. They can come in with 60 people and in 3 or 4 hours have everything picked up.
Every year, participants do their part to keep local parks and cemeteries clean. But organizers say the day is about more than tidying up the city.
It's a feeling of self-worth, you know, when you give back and you help other people. So, you know, often these folks are the ones, the recipients of that help. But today, they can prove to the world, at least Maine, that they're giving back. And they can give back if they're giving that opportunity.
Hart says the volunteers are leading by example with the work they're doing. However, for those that dread spring cleaning, he says that participating in Earth Day can be as easy as a walk in the park.
Get out and recreate, get out and exercise, be healthy, and take that opportunity on Earth Day to get out and do something outside that makes an improvement to whether it's around your own house or some other place in another community.
In Brewer, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
With sunshine and spring sports ramping up, doctors are talking about how young athletes can stay safe this season. With more, here's ABC's Lindsay Watts.
It's the season to play ball, but professional athletes aren't the only ones at risk for sports injuries. Children and teens need reminders to stay safe too. Doctors recommend young athletes play a variety of sports to keep kids interested and prevent injuries from overuse. And exercise isn't just good for physical health. It helps mental health as well. Children and teens who play sports have improved social skills, sleep, behavior, and self-esteem. Experts say in the case of youth sports, there should be an emphasis on effort rather than winning. To keep ligaments, muscles, and bones healthy, doctors have a few tips. Take time off, wear the right gear, and stay hydrated. Make sure kids use the correct techniques, and most importantly, stop if there's pain. In this case, if there's pain, there's no gain. With this Medical Minute, I'm Lindsay Watts.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
This is our latest hearing aid, packed with 20th century technology. Why beige? To blend in. You're behind your ear. You know, so it's almost invisible.
You mean like this?
How did you do that?
You don't have to go to extremes to enjoy extreme nutrition. Extreme Nutrition offers loaded nutritional energy teas and nutritional protein shakes. Extreme Nutrition.
My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I was getting a lot of mail about Medicare, getting pretty confused about it.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
Somebody said something about Senior Planning Center.
I heard of Senior Planning Center, so we called them.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver for us.
I couldn't begin to do it all on my own, but Senior Planning Center did it all.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Senior Planning Center helped us so much.
Biggest help I could ever have asked for.
Honey, where's the countertop?
I sent it out to the granite shop this morning to be replaced.
Wow,
The quickest turnaround in the business. The Granite Shop in Sedgwick.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963. We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing. Let us help you get back to business.
A new report says some doctors are using virtual reality to help their clients face their fears. According to the Wall Street Journal, this is part of a technique called exposure therapy. Doctors use this technique to create a safe environment for their clients to face their fears, such as speaking in front of crowds, heights, and to process traumatic memories. Researchers are working to make their VR headsets more personal and to help individuals confront their phobias. The report says the Department of Veterans Affairs is starting a pilot program to send the device home with veterans. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, here we go on this Friday afternoon. We've had a few returns on the radar showing some rain and snow showers there, possibly just some flurries and sprinkles as well. But overall, looking pretty good. Anything that fell this morning is pretty much getting out of here now. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky for us today, so good reasons to get outside and really enjoy the weather. A lot of sunshine, temperatures getting close to the 60-degree mark. We are watching this front off toward the west. That's causing a lot of fanfare in some parts of the country and not so much in others. But again, we're going to be watching this tracking off towards the east as we do proceed forward. So futurecast proceeding forward, a partly cloudy sky today. Maybe some more clouds on the way later on tonight. We'll have even more clouds for you Saturday, though, as that system starts to approach. Will be mostly cloudy in general, but we won't have to worry about any precipitation again until we head towards Sunday night. But we do notice more clouds again as we head towards your Sunday. So let's talk about this right here. This thing keeps slowing down, at least for the time being. So Sunday, looking dry. This thing's kind of knocking on the door of the state as we head towards 4 o'clock on Sunday. We'll be watching this moving from the west to the east. But once it moves in early Monday morning, it kind of sticks around at least through parts of Wednesday with its chances for rain showers possible. And we'll start seeing this back off throughout the day as we head towards your Wednesday or so. So again, wave heights are not too bad. 1 to 3 foot wave heights being noted for the time being. No advisories in effect along the coast of the ocean, continuing to remain calm as we do proceed forward in time. So otherwise, though, temperatures recently the last few days have been running roughly about 5 degrees below average or so. Not too bad, though. We did have a warmer stretch, which I'm sure many enjoyed, but we have cooled back down to reality. But we will do a little bit better today. Our average high temperature is 56 degrees. Upper 50s is what we'll do today, tomorrow, and the Sunday. Some of you could do the lower 60s as well before we cool off into the 40s Monday into your Tuesday. Back in the 50s again as we head towards Wednesday and also into your Thursday. So, of course, any snow on the ground continues to melt. We have a little bit in the northern parts of the state, but that continues to melt away. And we'll be done with that before you know it. So your forecast for today, upper 50s, maybe some lower 60s with a partly cloudy sky and a wind overall looking nice and calm. Looking ahead towards tonight, mid-30s with a partly cloudy sky. I revised the forecast to now say calm for the wind. We won't have to worry too much about the wind later on tonight. Looking ahead towards tomorrow, though, upper 50s to lower 60s with a mostly cloudy sky and that east wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, your next 5 days, not too bad, though, moving forward. Mostly cloudy on Sunday, highs in the upper 50s again, and then upper 40s Monday into Tuesday. The rain moves in Sunday night, continuing into Monday and Tuesday as well.
Thank you, Devin. Looks like we're in for a dry weekend. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great weekend.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is